A time of celebration and new beginnings for many, serves as an inspiration to set and pursue unique goals not considered during the rest of the year. However, for some, it's a day marked with disdain and negativity. Among the various experiences associated with this holiday, there are several eerie incidents that have led to disturbing starts to the new year. One such incident occurred on New Year's Eve in 1920 at the Drake Hotel in Chicago. The hotel's grand opening, expected to be a showcase of beauty and elegance, took a dark turn. Known as the incident of the Woman in Red, a tragic event unfolded when a woman, dressed in a red silk gown and attending the event with her fiancé, found him with another woman after he had disappeared for over an hour. Heartbroken, she went to the roof of the hotel and leaped to her death. Since that fateful night, there have been reports from guests at the Drake of seeing her ghostly figure in the Gold Coast room, the Palm Court on the 10th floor, and the roof. Additionally, some claim to still hear the echoes of a woman's cries in these areas of the hotel. There is a belief that the soul of the Woman in Red from the Drake Hotel is trapped, endlessly reliving her final moments in an attempt to find solace from the sorrow of her last night. Both staff and visitors of the hotel have frequently reported experiencing an eerie and unsettling atmosphere in the ballroom. In a separate incident on New Year's Eve in 2013, Joseph Scott was hosting a party at his home with close friends when some guests began to notice strange sounds coming from above the living room, where the party was in full swing. Curious and unsettled, Joseph discreetly accessed the attic, trying not to alarm his guests. In the attic, he encountered loud cracking noises and, upon investigating further, was startled to see a pair of hands gripping the top of a box. Approaching closer, he was shocked to find a middle-aged, unfamiliar, and seemingly agitated man hiding there. Panicked, Joseph ran out, calling for help, and he and his girlfriend stood guard at the attic door until the police arrived. The police easily apprehended the uninvited man, who was unarmed and claimed to have wandered in innocently, although suspicions arose that he might have had more sinister intentions. In a similar vein, another unusual party crasher incident occurred when an uninvited guest unexpectedly appeared at a New Year's Eve celebration. This guest, who seemed to come out of nowhere, joined the festivities without any clear explanation of how they entered the party. The couple experienced a bizarre series of events where items would go missing, only to reappear minutes later in the same spot. Initially, they assumed it was a trick of the mind, or that they were inadvertently moving things themselves. However, the phenomenon persisted, with objects vanishing precisely when needed. When their friend Carson arrived, and they settled down to watch TV, the boyfriend made a comment, to which a mysterious male voice responded, startling everyone. They checked for the boyfriend's roommates, but found they weren't back yet. Later, when the roommates did return, they revealed having heard similar sounds since a recent eclipse. The situation escalated when the woman, while in the bathroom, heard a loud cough directly behind her, causing her to flee in terror. Initially, her story was met with skepticism, but as more guests arrived and reported hearing the same cough from the bathroom, their doubts faded. The next morning, the woman heard the cough again, but then the strange occurrences ceased for a full year, leading her to suspect these events were somehow tied to the holiday season. The Monte Vista Hotel, situated in Flagstaff, Arizona, opened its doors on the first day of 1927. In the 1940s and 50s, it became a favored haunt for Hollywood celebrities and served as a backdrop for over 100 Western films. The hotel played host to famous guests like Bing Crosby, Jane Russell, Gary Cooper, Spencer Tracy, among others. Renowned for its ghostly tales, one of the most famous is the Phantom Bellboy, known for knocking on guests' doors and disappearing before they can answer. Numerous visitors have reported this eerie occurrence over the years. Another ghostly presence believed to be haunting the hotel is a woman frequently seen near the suite where author Zane Grey once stayed, a room with a dark history where 2 prostitutes were reportedly murdered. Additionally, guests staying in the room, once occupied by actor Gary Cooper, have reported hearing the sounds of a man coughing and pacing, along with an unsettling sensation of being watched. The hotel's saloon is also said to be haunted, possibly by the spirit of a bank robber. It's reported that in 1973, after a nearby bank heist, the robbers celebrated in the hotel's lounge, where one, injured during their escape, succumbed to his wounds. Guests have since reported hearing voices and sounds with no apparent source and feeling an eerie sense of being observed in the saloon. Despite these chilling tales, the Monte Vista Hotel continues to operate, attracting many visitors intrigued by its paranormal reputation and hoping to experience some of its mysterious activity for themselves. During New Year's Eve in 1997, two friends, Olivia Hope and Ben Smart, found themselves in a predicament when their rented yak for the night was too crowded. They ended up taking a water taxi, during which they met a man who discovered they had no place to sleep. He generously offered them accommodation on his own boat, which they accepted as their only viable option.
How would you describe them?
Sort of shabby casual would be the ones up the front.
And the two people at the back?
One male, one female. Young, late teens, very early 20s. They did not have the look of enjoyment.
The taxi dropped them at the man's yacht, and they boarded it sometime between 4 and 5 a.m. Tragically, that was the last time Olivia and Ben were seen. The subsequent police investigation sparked controversy. Although several witnesses provided consistent descriptions of a man and a specific two-masted sailing boat, the focus shifted to Scott Watson, who owned a smaller boat. This direction in the investigation has been a point of contention ever since. The police believe they apprehended the person responsible for the disappearance and presumed murders of Olivia and Ben. Yet, even after 2 decades, the case is shrouded in mystery. During the New Year's Eve of 2017, a group of friends embarked on a camping journey to Acadia National Park in Maine, a trip they had been planning for some time. They were 6 in total and set up 3 tents along a riverbank, complete with a portable barbecue and a campfire. They also brought along fireworks to celebrate at midnight. Throughout their time at the campsite, they enjoyed loud music and tequila from a portable speaker. As the night progressed and the group became more lively and intoxicated, one friend asked for silence, turning down the music upon suspecting a strange noise in the woods. In the ensuing quiet, they all heard a mysterious, long, and slow whistling sound that repeated every few seconds. Speculations arose about its origin, perhaps an animal, a person whistling, or an actual whistle. After a period of attentive listening, the peculiar sound ceased. The group then returned to their festivities, resuming their music and drinks. However, the atmosphere changed dramatically as they began setting off their fireworks at midnight. Following the explosion of several fireworks, a terrifying scream resonated from the woods, adding an eerie and unsettling tone to their celebration. The persistent screams caused the group to cease their fireworks display and seek refuge in their tents. Overwhelmed with fear, the screams eventually ceased, but not before they heard footsteps near their campsite. Through their tent walls, illuminated by the campfire's glow, they spotted a tall, stooped figure moving in the vicinity, indicating that the source of the screams was not a small animal. However, this figure soon vanished into the woods along with the sound of the footsteps. Shaken by the experience, the friends stayed in their tents, too frightened to venture out or even consider packing up their belongings. They spent the rest of the night in their tents, communicating only from within their shelters. Only when dawn broke did they feel brave enough to emerge, quickly packing up and departing from the site. This unsettling encounter was certainly not the ideal way to ring in the new year.